announce the winner of the dryer balls that I did a video of last Saturday. So these are the Cool Wool 100% handmade in Nepal wool dryer balls. And I've used these dryer balls or similar ones. Again, I don't know originally where I bought them from, and they work great. And I've been using them for, I want to say, a year. So if you're not the winner and would like these dryer balls still, I will put the link down below where you can buy them. And yeah, so I'm going to announce the winner at the end of this video because I'm doing a Q&A. And you guys have blown me away with all of your questions. I just did a Q&A. I don't remember when it was. When I hit 5,000 subscribers. That was like a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I have gotten like 300 more subscribers since then. I had hit 5,000 subscribers, and now I'm at 5,300 something. So woo woo, thanks guys for watching my channel. Anyway, so I'm guessing you guys had a lot of questions because a lot of you are new. So I have my iPad here, and I'm just going to read the questions off the iPad. I'm not sure how else to do it. I don't like the fact that I keep looking down, but how else am I going to do it? So Willa Goodall asked, how do you feel when you drive your Mustang? She put LOL. And yeah, so oh no, how do you feel young when you drive your Mustang? So yeah, not really anymore. I always wanted a Mustang when I was in high school. I knew somebody in high school that had a 1964 Mustang, which was the year that I was born. Yes, do the math. I'm 53. Anyway, embrace it. And I never had the money to get one, and I don't know. I got it in 2003, and I loved it, but now I hate it. It's so low to the ground, and you can hear everything, and I'm ready to get a new one, and it is running on its, well, actually it's running pretty good, but the seats are ripped. Hopefully I can get a new car and within, I don't know. I guess we're going to run that to the ground before we get a new one. First, we need a new truck, actually. So, the answer to your question is, do I feel young? No, I feel old because I like being up high in the truck. So, hubby drives the Mustang most of the time. So, that was a long answer for easy questions. I need to get better about this. So, Shannon, I'm going to butcher these names, guys. Carballo asked, what kind of jobs have I... she asked several questions. This might be a two-parter because I'm chitty chatty, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to answer all these questions in one video. So she asked, what kind of jobs have you held in the past? Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Way back when, I worked at a fast food restaurant in high school. I worked at Kmart, I worked at Payless Shoes, and then from there I pretty much worked at preschools or, daycares. I worked at daycare centers, and the last job I held was I was a preschool director of a daycare center, and I was over 3 preschool classes, all the older preschool classes, the 3-year-olds, the 4-year-olds, and the 5-year-olds, and I was preschool curriculum director. That's what I was. So, yeah. She also asked, where's your hometown and how many children do you have? My hometown is, well, I was born in Manchester, Connecticut, but I didn't live there very long, and then we moved to Vernon. So I would say my hometown would be Vernon, Connecticut. Is that what you're asking? Or, not asking my current hometown, right? Do you have? I just have one child. I have a son who lives in San Francisco. His name is Nick, and he's 30 years old. Yeah, I have a 30-year-old. Oh my God. Crazy. So, and I have no grandbabies. She was talking about how she has grandbabies, but my sister has 13 grandbabies, and 14. One more is coming on the way, I think in May or June. I'm not positive. And she shares her grandbabies with me. We're really close. So anyway, so Lafitte I don't know how you say it, L-I-E-F-D-E. That, I looked that up, and that is Dutch for love. So, Lafite? I don't know. Tell me how you pronounce your name. I think that's just the name of your channel. So I'd like to know, because I've been following her lately. She's going to be doing the, well, she is doing the Clean With Me Challenge, which I'm going to pick back up on that starting Monday. So I will link her channel. She wanted to know what my favorite gluten-free food is and what I like, what tastes the best. Pretty much I just don't eat gluten-free products. When I cheat, I end up eating gluten. But I will have to say, I forgot to look this up before I did the video, but I'm pretty sure, and I mentioned it in another video, I think I did it in an empties video. It is the, is it Lance's? Lance's gluten-free cheddar cheese crackers. They're like Cheez-Its. They are better than Cheez-Its. So I occasionally buy them, but pretty much I don't buy gluten-free products because they're not clean. And they don't just, pretty much don't taste good. I don't really like gluten-free bread. I don't really like gluten-free pasta. I just eat rice instead of pasta. So when I make spaghetti, I use rice, that kind of stuff. Guess what, guys? Fruit and vegetables are gluten-free. Dairy is gluten-free. Cheese is gluten-free. Boneless, skinless chicken breast is gluten-free. Salmon is gluten-free. Anyway, it's kind of a little pet peeve of mine. When people ask, what gluten-free products do I eat? Or I don't know. What do you eat when you're gluten-free? Well, there's a lot of stuff you could eat when you're gluten-free. Gluten-free products are not, I have heard somebody on another channel say, well, they said their dad said, so I had some gluten-free pasta, so that's healthy, right? No. Just because it's gluten-free, that doesn't make it healthy. It's actually sometimes worse for you than regular pasta. They just put a lot of crap in it. Anyway, I've said enough. That is something for a whole another video. So Hugo's mom, whose name is Kathy, right? I've got that right? Sometimes I forget that. She wanted to know what my favorite movie and TV show is. So, movie, that's really hard. Something I'll watch over and over again is My Cousin Vinny. And our family favorite show is The Goonies. I don't know, I have a lot. TV show, I have a lot of favorite movies, but nothing recently. TV show, it used to be my Big Bang Theory, but I've recently don't really like that show anymore. And I am frustrated with TV in general. We're thinking about cutting the cable because we don't really watch it. I guess recently that would be Fixer Upper, but that's going away. Bye-bye. This is the last season of Fixer Upper. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite show. The last really good TV show that I liked was Lost, and that was how many years ago? Anyway, so that's enough about that. So, Joe Hemmer asked, where did I learn to crochet? I'm pretty sure I learned that from my mom. You made me think about that more, Joe, when you asked me that question. But it could have been a little bit from my aunt. When I was 10 years old, I learned to crochet. I am no crocheting expert. I am terrible at following directions, so I end up just winging it myself, and sometimes it doesn't come out right. As you saw in my a video that I showed the crocheted blanket that I made. It came out all misshapen. Whatever. It's fine. It's just for me. So, Janice Cancella asked, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? I don't remember wanting to be anything when I was a child. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be an architect, and I actually went to school to start to take classes to be an architect. Yeah, that didn't work out. I don't know, I didn't like it. So, you know, back in that day, you were doing drafting on a drafting table and hand drawing stuff. Yeah, that was a long time ago. So, I I don't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So, Dana Garza actually asked where I grew up too. Again, I was born in Connecticut, but in 1978 we moved here. So I was 13 when we moved here to Florida, and pretty much been here since 1978, except for 4 years we lived in Georgia because hubby was stationed in Georgia, Fort Benning, Georgia. And how did I meet hubby? I met hubby the day he was graduating high school. I actually say we're high school sweethearts, but technically we aren't. We didn't even start dating until after he graduated. I was in high school, he was not. I don't know, whatever. I call it my high school sweetheart. So I met him actually, wait, I want to say I met him the day, yeah, I think it was. I'm trying to think if I met him one other day before that, because I remember there was 2 meetings that we met up. Pretty sure it was the day he was graduating. I was out with a friend. I was dating somebody else who happened to be on a trip to New York, and I was out with his best friend who was supposed to be keeping an eye on me, whatever that means. Anyway, I was out with him hanging out, and we were going to parties after graduation, and he had brought along Bob, and yes, hubby's name is Bob, and some of you might not know that, and I met him that night, and I really liked him, and when at the time my boyfriend, the current boyfriend broke up with me, so that was May, so into September sometime my boyfriend broke up with me, and so I actually gave my phone number to a friend of his and said have him call me. He actually called me like the next day and invited me to a football game. So and there's the story. So here Vero HS asks, good question. You guys have asked some really good questions here too that I've never been asked before. Have you always been a stay-at-home wife? No, I have not always been a stay-at-home wife. Since 2001, so it's 2018, for 17 years. But, so 2001 would put me at, can't do the math, 15 years, I'm just guessing, around 15 years of marriage. Well, let's see, my son was 13 when I quit working. So, hubby had gotten he finished his degree and had gotten his job. After he had got out of the Army, he went to school, got his degree, and he got a really good job. And so my dream was to quit working and go back to school. Well, that never ended up happening. And I stayed home to be home with my son, who was 13. And I don't know, it worked out good. Actually, I think somebody is going to ask that in another question, but honestly, it worked out for the best. I never ended up going back to school. I was going to get my teaching degree, and I never ended up doing that. And just having 2 jobs, or 2-job home, whatever, where spouses both work, puts a lot of stress on a marriage. And honestly, since I quit working, our marriage has gotten much better. Much better. We fight less, all that kind of stuff. It's just hard. It was just hard all those years, those 15 years we were working. You know, it might have had to do with we were struggling financially and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm talking. Point is, if you can be a 1-income family, I encourage you. It will improve your marriage. At least it did me. And I know a lot of other people that it has. A lot of people that I'm surrounded with, only one spouse works. Not always. They have just made it, they quit their job and made it work so that only one person's working. Katie Sono asks, my question is, which style is more suitable for you cleaning? Cleaning along with routines or just picking up whenever you noticed? I don't know. I don't have a cleaning routine. I try to have a cleaning routine. I have a list which I try to go by, which sometimes I follow it, sometimes I don't. I try to do a fly lady-ish cleaning routine that didn't work out, and I just realized my life is crazy. It's up and down all the time. There is right now it doesn't seem like it's that crazy. There's not a whole lot going on, but I threw my back out, so that puts the cleaning routine, I don't know, out the window. So how am I supposed to answer your question? I just pick up whatever it needs to be. I don't really have a cleaning routine. I like to have a once a week cleaning routine where I clean the whole house. But again, that doesn't just happen. It doesn't happen all the time. My house seems to stay cleaner if I do one day a week where I clean the whole house from top to bottom. Two again. She asked, what influenced you to start your YouTube channel? And by the way, I love, oh, that's sweet, thanks. So, she has, Two again has a, sorry, I don't know your first name. How do I not know your first name? I know a lot of you who have a channel don't say your name at the beginning of the channel. Maybe gonna make a suggestion that you do that, because I don't know, I like to know people's first name. She used to be Adventures of the Empty Nesters, and changed her channel to Two Again. Loving her channel, and she's great. She's in the same phase of life as I am right now, empty nester, road to retirement kind of thing. So, what influenced me to do the YouTube channel? My son, he's the one that suggested it, and then, you know, I'm like, well, maybe that would help me with my depression, because I was going through a depression at the time, and it actually really helped that. I mean, it wasn't the #1 thing. That was changing my medicine. But it helped motivate me and everything like that. Because whenever I would watch YouTube channels, cleaning and organizing videos, I would want to clean and organize. And I'm like, well, let's take it one step further, and maybe actually doing the videos would help me, and maybe that would help somebody else. Actually, I think of that helping other people came later. I know it's helped other people, and you guys help me. Your comments help me. They motivate me to do more videos and motivate me to get stuff done. Leslie Oliver asked, if you had a choice to move, would you? No. Actually, I used to want to move, but I kind of don't. However, if I have all my family here, so yeah, most of my family. I consider my extended family, my cousins and stuff, my family too, but I know if I moved more near them, that we probably wouldn't see each other. I mean, in your head, you think, oh, that'd be great to live near my cousins and we'd be hanging out. Reality is, you know, your family gets big, and the ones that you end up seeing is your children and your more immediate family. Yeah, I mostly see my sister and her daughter and her kids. The rest of the family, I don't see that often, but everybody lives, my dad, my brother, and my sister, my sister's kids and children live within a 10-mile radius. There's like, what, 25 or 30 of us now? Yeah, and then she said, if so, where in the world would you choose? Well, if I had to choose, her question was, would I? So that was no. So, I don't know. I want to say North Carolina, because you get a little bit of change of weather. And, yeah, you get a little bit of change of weather, but it's not too extreme. I mean, it still gets hot. I mean, it gets really hot here. But it hasn't bothered me. Last year, it didn't bother me as much as it has in the past. I had a huge heat intolerance problem, and that was because of my thyroid meds. Makes you heat intolerant. I could stand like 10 minutes, and it literally sucked the life out of me. I had to go outside, go back inside, and take a nap. I don't even know. That's another whole nother video too. That is just the weirdest thing ever. But it's a thing. I looked it up. Heat intolerance. So, she's asking a question about my gluten-free, but I'm not really sure. She says, regarding your gluten-free necessity, are you asking if it's a necessity? Well, to be honest, I was never actually, I'm not celiac, I'm gluten intolerant, but I would never actually tested for it, and I never asked my doctor, but I figured it out. It's definitely a thing. my knees swell and they crack and pop when I eat too much gluten, and I feel so much better when I'm gluten-free. And she said, I realize you're not 100% yet, but do you generally try to eat gluten-free bread, or are all the food sources gluten-free? All the sources are gluten-free. Bread is the worst. White bread. If I eat wheat bread, it still bothers me, but not as much. And I'm talking about a really good organic wheat bread. Or if my sister she makes homemade wheat bread, that is really good. It doesn't have very many preservatives and all that kind of stuff in there. And my recommendation would be Dave's Killer Bread. But yes, all of the foods I eat is gluten-free, and I already answered this. I pretty much don't eat gluten-free products because they're not clean. I try, not saying I don't, because I do, and I've been eating them lately. So, and I've been feeling the effects. My back, my knees are swollen. I feel very swelly, and I actually think my face is kind of puffy. Yeah, my face, I maybe insert a picture at the end of this video of the difference from 2012 after my thyroid operation. I was, oh my God. And then what my face looks now. And there's really only a difference of 10 or 20 pounds. But it looks like I lost 40 pounds. Huge difference. You will not be swollen. And you won't have as many joint problems, all that kind of stuff. So she said she has a gluten allergy, and finding the list of foods that contain gluten immense. Yes, a lot of stuff contains gluten, but it's processed foods mostly that contain gluten, and you'd be better off not eating processed foods. So that's just my advice. So was that all the questions? All right, so the only other question was on Instagram. Some of the other ones were ones I already answered. Was from Sarah Dwyer. Is that how you say that? She asked, what is my favorite thing about living in Florida? And I already answered the other part of your question was what state you want to live in. I guess North Carolina was it. So my favorite thing, and hubby said that this didn't count, but my favorite thing is living by my family. All of us, like 25, I don't know, I lost count. There's one on the way. 25 or 30 of us live within a 10-mile radius of each other, and that is often. Awesome. That is awesome. I was thinking ahead and thinking we see each other often, but that's mainly my sister, my dad, my brother, and my niece and her four children. The rest of them we don't see as often, but you know, way more often than we would if we lived out of state. So we get together for holidays mostly and stuff, and the kids' birthday and that kind of thing. So I really like that. And the other thing is that it is pretty reasonably priced to live here, or at least it used to be. Let me give you an example, and you let me know if you think that's cheap. But this is considered a pretty poor county that we live in. There are some more expensive houses here and there, but for example, about 5 years ago, you could buy a 1,300 square foot, that's a pretty small house, but around a 1,300 square foot house for about $80,000. And now that same $80,000 house is worth $160,000. I still think that is fairly inexpensive compared to the rest of the country. Let me know in the comments below. I'm just curious. So that's not my house. But my house has not doubled in price in 5 years, but it's gone up considerably. I would say, I don't know, I'd have to do the math. I would say 35-40%. Okay, so I had one more question from Margot, and that was sent to me from my email, and she wanted to know, how did hubby and I get engaged? Well, both of us differ on the story on this one. I say we never really got engaged. We were dating for 4 years before we actually got married. So, at some point, in the relationship, we knew we were going to get married. It was just a matter of time, because we couldn't afford to get married. Neither of us had a good job. I was 16 when we started dating, and he was 17, or was it 17 and 18? I think it was 16 and 17. Anyway, so we were dating for 4 years. So, you know, he graduated high school and he didn't have a good job. He didn't go to school. And then finally he decided to join the Army. And then after he was in for like a year, then we decided we were going to get married. So we're always talking about it. He said he actually asked me. I don't remember that. It's terrible. I don't actually, he said, I don't know. We went and picked out the ring together and everything like that. It wasn't like he went and bought the ring and then said, will you marry me? It was, yeah. I don't remember. I feel terrible. But I don't actually remember asking me. He didn't get down on his knee. He might have said that. Like when we went and bought the ring and then he gave it to me and put it on my finger. He might have said, will you marry me? Maybe that's what he's talking about. Anyhow, let me pick the winner of the giveaway. Alright, so I'm using this comment tracker, random comment picker thing, so because there was a lot of people that entered, so I'm going to, alright, I couldn't get that to work on my iPad, so I am coming over here to the computer and picking a random person. And it's not working. There's your winner, Candace Chrome. You get the giveaway. Okay, you are the winner. I think I pronounced that wrong. I think it's Cadence. Let me know. So you are the winner of the dryer balls, and I might send you a little something along with it. So send me an email at send me an email at myeverydayWifeLife@gmail.com, and I will send out your package as soon as I can. And if you are still interested in the dryer balls, click the link below if you want to watch the video of the giveaway, so you know about the dryer balls and all that kind of stuff. I will put that down below. You guys, these are only $13.95, and think about how much money you spend on fabric softener. You will no longer need fabric softener if you use that. So that's a lot. They're very reasonably priced and they work really great. So anyway, that's it for this video. I cannot talk today. That is it for this video, and as always, enjoy your day.